Hello again, everybody. This is Dave for Blox News and Exclusive Collectibles, back for another break. Today we're going to be opening a box of 1990 Fleer basketball. It's, some people call it vintage, but there's 36 packs, 15 cards apiece in this box. And, of course, one of the highlights of the set is Michael Jordan, but there's many other stars, including Magic Johnson and many other players. So, buckle up and hope you enjoy. All right, we're about to open the first pack of the 1990 Fleer basketball box. A couple good cards to look out for is, of course, Michael Jordan base cards. There's a Michael Jordan All-Star card, Patrick Ewing, and of course Dave Robinson's The Admiral rookie year. Now, you could typically find these boxes pretty cheap, about $10 on eBay. Typically, there are good cards, of course, but these were mass produced. But there are some gems to be found. We got Terry Teagle, John Williams, Karl Malone, Mark West, Mark Sigma, Blair Rasmussen, David Wingate, Bill Wellington, ooh, and Pippen right behind him. Next up, we have Tim Perry. Hey, back to back, Tim Perry. Trent Tucker, Dennis Rodman when he was in the Pistons, Cliff Robinson, and Michael Thompson out of the first pack. So it looks like the centering is not bad on these cards. That's another thing about the old school cards. You may get an awesome card, but the centering may be off. That's just the chance. Obviously you can tell centering is pretty even on there. But that's one thing with the old vintage cards you're going to look out for even more. Alright. Moving along. Let's see. Let's be on Jordan and Robinson watch. Larry Nance, David Robinson, there we go, Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, Xavier McDaniel, Todd Murphy, Lafayette Lever, Reggie Theus, Chris Morris, J.R. Reed, Bernard King, Ken Norman, Chris Mullin, Derek Smith, and the ever popular checklist card. So as you can see, we received David Robinson. Center is pretty good, but not 100%. The left is a little heavy. So we got first one out of the second pack. We got Robinson. Moving up to the next one. The All-Star cards are where a lot of collectors find themselves value. Otis Smith, Dennis Hobson, Armand Gilliam, Tom Hammonds, Danny Manning, Sarunas Marciulionis, Rick Mahorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Willis, Herb Williams, Rick Smits, Jimmy Paxson, Nate McMillan, Kenny Walker, and finally John Sally out of this pack. No All-Stars as of yet. These cards are surprisingly in good shape. The box itself was in good shape. As you can see, the wax packs come apart pretty quickly. It's some people you buy on eBay, they've pack searched Ron Harper, Rod Higgins, Eric Leckner, Otis Thorpe, Dominique Wilkins, Hersey Hawkins, Detlef Shrimp. Looks like we have an all-star coming up. Robert Parrish, Hakeem Olajuwon That's a good player card. Thurl Bailey. Anthony Bowie. John Battle. Ron Anderson. And finally, Vern Fleming out of that pack. So as you can see, we got a nice looking Akeem Olajuwon card, all-star card out of that one. Keeping the party moving. Yeah, the corners on these are very sharp, so you can get lucky. Some good deals. Stacey King, Wayman Tinsdale, Billy Thompson, Mark Price, Rod Strickland, Alvin Robertson, Sam Perkins, Derek McKee, Pooh Richardson, Todd Lichty, Sam Vincent, Charles Shackelford, Kelly Tripucka, Jeff Malone, and Charles Smith out of that pack. Old wax is, to me, is really fun because you know what, a lot of cards don't have value, but you can find some gem cards. Larry Bird, Tom Chambers, Maurice Cheeks, Mark Aguirre, Clyde Drexler, Michael Cooper, B.J. Armstrong, Danny Ainge, Sherman Douglas, Brad Doherty, Billy Anderson, Jeff Grayer, Rolando Blackman, along with Dana Barros and Randy Brewer out of that pack. Next up, still on that Jordan watch, but popular player didn't put as many cards in back in the day, so might be a tough pull for both Jordans. Vlad Divac, Bill Cartwright from the Bulls, Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Ello, Frank Brickowski, Jay Humphreys, Adrian Dantley, Michael Cage, Tony Campbell, Walter Davis, Terry Catledge, Sam Bowie, Rex Chapman, and Liddell Equals out of that pack. Alright. Yeah, the wax is so fun to open. Nice and smooth. Paul Pressey, James Donaldson, Sean Kemp, Sam Mitchell, Bill Hanslick, Otis Smith, Dennis Hobson, Armand Gillen, Tom Hammonds, Danny Manning, Sarunas Marcia Lunas, Rick Mayhorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Willis, and finally Herb Williams out of that pack. Buck Williams, Orlando Woolridge, John Paxson, Mark Eaton, Buck Johnson, Moses Malone, Scott Brooks, Reggie Miller, Joe Klein, Eddie Johnson, Mark Jackson, James Edwards, Byron Irvin, AC Green, and Horace Grant. Two good cards right off the bat, right at the end there. Danny Ainge, Sherman Douglas, Brad Doherty, Willie Anderson, Jeff Grayer, Rolando Blackman, Dana Barros, Randy Brewer, Michael Adams, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, Tyrone Bogues, Mark O'Leary, Benoit Benjamin, and Manute Bol. That's a good card. Open up the next one. Still on Jordan Watch. We've gotten one David Robinson so far. Some other stars. Tom Chambers, Maurice Cheeks, Mark Aguirre, Clyde Drexler, Michael Cooper, B.J. Armstrong, Danny Ainge, Sherman Douglas, Brad Doherty, Willie Anderson, Jeff Grayer, Rolando Blackman, Dana Barros, Randy Brewer, and Michael Adams out of that pack. Alright. Nice smooth opening packs. No cotton, no bubble gum waiting for you. That's 30 plus years old. Sarunas Marcialunas, Rick Mayhorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Willis, Herb Williams, Rick Smits, Jim Paxson, Nate McMillan, Kenny Walker, John Saley, Buck Williams hiding behind him, Orlando Woolridge, John Paxson, Mark Eaton, and Buck Johnson out of that pack. Alright, moving pretty fast so we don't get hung up on the opening of the packs, kind of like that 1991 Upper Deck. Michael Adams, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, Tyrone Bogues, Mark O'Leary, I can't even say his name, Manute Bol, Theodore Edwards, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith had someone hiding behind him. Johnny Dawkins, Reggie Lewis, Tim Perry, Trent Tucker, and Chuck Person out of this one. Tuck it away. See if we can pull, put our forces together and pull a Jordan. Dan Shays, John Stockton, Sal Thompson, Ed Pinckney, Kurt Rambis, Jared Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas, Danny Young, James Worthy makes an appearance, Will Perdue, Mike Brown, Eric Floyd, Cliff Livingston, Charles Barkley, first one of him we've seen, and George McLeod. Haven't pretty much lost count on the packs. Typically take stock about partway through. Moses Alone, Scott Brooks, Reggie Miller, Joe Klein, Eddie Johnson, Mark Jackson, James Edwards, Byron Irvin, AC Green, Horace Grant. We've seen that in another pack, back to back. Purvis Ellison, Grant Long, Danny Ferry, Terry Cummins, and Ricky Pierce out of that pack. Next pack. Brad Davis, Dale Ellis, Tyrone Corbin, Alex English, Sidney Green, Lester Connor, Del Curry, Harvey Grant, Ron Harper, Rod Higgins, Eric Weckner, Otis Thorpe, Dominique Wilkins, Hersey Hawkins, and Detlef Shrimp out of that pack. Pull the next one. Jack Sigma, Blair Rasmussen, David Wingate, Bill Wellington, Scottie Pippen, Thurl Bailey, Anthony Bowie, John Battle, Ron Anderson, Vern Fleming, Larry Bird, Tom Chambers, Maurice Cheeks, Mark Aguirre, and Clyde Drexler out of that pack. Clicking away. Michael Cooper, BJ Armstrong, Danny Ainge, Sherman Douglas, Brad Dougherty, Willie Anderson, Jeff Grayer, Rolando Blackman, Dana Barros, Scottie Pippen, Randy Brewer, Michael Adams, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, and Tyrone Bugs. Yeah, we've only seen one All-Star card so far, and that was a Hakeem Olajuwon card. Mark O'Leary, Benoit Benjamin, Manute Bol, Theodore Edwards, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Johnny Dawkins, Chuck Person, Reggie Lewis, All-Star card of Tom Chambers. Looks like the centering's off a bit on that. Mike Brown, Eric Floyd, Cliff Livingston, another Barkley, and George McLeod. Move along. Dennis Johnson, Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, first one of those I believe we've seen. Joe Dumars. Hopefully we get another sort order with some new cards. Kevin Duckworth, Vlad Divac, first one of him. Bill Cartwright, Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Ello, Frank Burkowski, Jay Humphreys, Adrian Dantley, Michael Cage, and Tony Campbell out of that pack. Next up, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, Tyrone Bogues, Mark O'Leary, Benoit Benjamin, Manute Bol, Theodore Edwards, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Johnny Dawkins, Chuck Person, Reggie Lewis, Tim Perry, Trent Tucker, and finally Dennis Rodman out of that one. Click it away. Still on that Jordan watch. Probably is going to be like the 1990 Topps football box I opened where Bo Jackson, the good card out of the disclaimer box, came absolutely second to last pack. Cliff Robinson, Michael Thompson, Stacey Kane, Wayman Tinsdale, Billy Thompson, Mark Price, Rod Strickland, Alvin Robertson, Sam Perkins, Derek McKee, Pooh Richardson, Todd Lichty, Sam Vincent, Charles Shackelford, and finally Kelly Tripucka out of that pack. So we're seeing some players we haven't seen yet, which is a good sign that maybe we'll hit something big. Jeff Malone, Charles Smith, Mitch Richmond, Purvis Short, one Super Serial Checklist, League Leader, Darrell Walker, first League Leader card we've seen, Terry Teagle, John Williams, not to be confused with the conductor, Carl Malone, League Leader, Mark West, two in the same pack, look at that, Mark Sigma, Blair Rasmussen, David Wingate, Bill Winnington, and Scottie Pippen. Well, we've seen a lot of those players from the Bulls Dream Team. All right. I've seen some boxes come and go without getting the cards you want, so we can only hope. Sam Mitchell, Bill Hanslett, Otis Smith, Dennis Hobson, Armand Gillum, Tom Hammonds, Danny Manning, Sarunas Marciulionis, Rick Mayhorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Willis, Herb Williams, Rick Smits, Jim Paxson, and finally Nate McMillan out of that pack. Take it away, we've got to be about halfway through this box. Kenny Walker, John Sally, Buck Williams, Orlando Ridge, John Paxson, Mark Eaton, Buck Johnson, Moses Malone, Scott Brooks, Reggie Miller, Joe Klein, Eddie Johnson, Mark Jackson, James Edwards, and Byron Irvin out of that pack. All right. AC Green, Horace Grant, Purvis Ellison, Grant Long, Danny Ferry, Terry Cummings, Ricky Pierce, Brad Davis, Dale Ellis, Tyrone Corbin, Alex English, Sidney Green, Lester Connor, Del Curry, and finally Harvey Grant out of that pack. Alright, we're on our final 10 packs. The 1990 Fleer basketball box. No Jordans in sight, no Magic Johnson. Dennis Johnson, different Johnson. Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, Joe Dumars, Kevin Duckworth, Vlade Divac, I think that's the first one of him we've seen. Bill Cartwright, Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Ello, anybody hiding? Frank Bogowski, Jay Humphreys, Adrian Dantley, Michael Cage, and finally Tony Campbell out of that pack. All right. Theodore Edwards, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Johnny Dawkins, Chuck Person, Reggie Lewis, Tim Perry, Trent Tucker, Dennis Rodman, Cliff Robinson, Michael Thompson, Stacey King, Wayman Tinsdale, Billy Thompson, and Mark Price. Moving a little quicker today. Dale Ellis, Tyrone Corbin, Alex English, Sidney Green, Lester Connor, Del Curry, Harvey Grant, Ron Harper, Rod Higgins, Eric Leckner, Otis Thorpe, Dominique Wilkins, Hershey Hawkins, Detlef Schrempf, and finally Robert Parrish. All right. Dennis Johnson, Jeff Hornacek. Some of these are a little off center. Patrick Ewing, Joe DeMars, Kevin Duckworth, Vlad Divac, Bill Cartwright, Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Ello, Frank Burkowski, Jay Humphreys, Adrian Dantley, Michael Cage, and Tony Campbell. Next up, Rod Strickland, Alvin Robertson, Sam Perkins, Derek McKee, Pooh Richardson, Todd Lichty, Sam Vincent, Charles Shackelford, Kelly Tripucka, Jeff Malone, Charles Smith, Mitch Richmond, Purvis Short, Awesome Checklist, and Daryl Walker, league leader. Alright, we're officially on the final countdown. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs left. And no Jordan in sight, but we did get a Dave Robinson. Bill Lambier, Terry Porter, Byron Scott, and there he is. Good centering, Michael Jordan card. Harold Presley, Ron Cicali, Larry Nance, and David Robinson in the pack. Quite the pack. Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, Xavier McDaniel, looks like it's the first one of him. Todd Murphy, league leaders. Lafayette Lever, Reggie Theus, and Chris Morris out of that pack. Well, we got a Jordan plus another Robinson to make 2 out of that one. Alright, we got over a Michael Jordan hump where we got 1 Jordan and a Malone in the last pack to make 2 Malones. J.R. Reed, Bernard King, Ken Norman, Chris Mullen, Derek Smith, awesome checklist card, Dan Chase, John Stockton, Sal Thompson, Ed Pickney, Kurt Rambis, Gerald Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas, Danny Young, and another James Worthy out of that pack. Alright, final 3. See if we can get a league leaders Jordan out of that. Out of one of these. Maybe a nice little treat or one of the All-Stars. Will Perdue. And there he is, Michael Jordan. Unfortunately, it's a little off center, but it's still the Jordan. Dan Marley, Charles Oakley, Bill Laimbeer, Terry Porter, Byron Scott, and another Jordan. This one's slightly off center, but it's good to see Michael Jordan again. Harold Presley, Ron Cicali, Larry Nance, and a Robinson. This one's a slightly off center too, but it's definitely collectible. Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, and McDaniel out of that pack. So we finally hit the Jordans near the end, along with a nice little cachet of more Dave Robinson base cards. So let's see if we can finish it off on a good note. League leader Todd Murphy, Lafayette Lever, Reggie Theus, Chris Morris, J.R. Reed, Bernard King, Ken Norman, Chris Mullin, Derek Smith, Fleer, Checklist, Dan Chase, John Stockton, LaSalle Thompson, Ed Pinckney, and Kurt Ramnus out of that pack. And now next up is the final pack. And of note, we have not gotten a Magic Johnson card out of any of the packs. And we had to wait till near the bottom of the box to pull the Jordans that we did, which includes one Jordan All-Star, as well as, I believe, 3 Jordan base cards. Walter Davis, Terry Catledge, Sam Bowie, Rex Chapman, Liddell Eagles, Winston Garland, Tim Hardaway, Robert Hansen, Hakeem Olajuwon base card, slightly off center, Spud Webb, Mike Gaminsky, Mike Sanders, Kevin McHale, Dan Marley, and finally Charles Oakley. So as you can see, we got our All-Star Jordan, we got Jordan base card, David Robinson, several other stars and semi-stars from the league in 1990. We didn't get a league leader Jordan, but you know those are a lot rarer. But now you got an idea of what comes out of the 1990 Fleer boxes. You know, so if you decide to pick one up, you kind of get a feel for the type of cards that come out, and hopefully you hit a big one. So you get the league leader Jordan, some Robinsons for yourself, or some even Jordan base cards. You know, he's one of the best players in the game. So hope you enjoyed. Click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Click the subscribe button for more videos. Listen and download us on SoundCloud. Visit our site at bloxnews.net and exclusivecollectibles.com for articles, news, collectibles, and help with your website, marketing, and SEO needs. Email us at info@bloxcoinnews.com to learn more.